Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Spring 2020. I'm Atlas. I'm joined by Wadid, and we're here for game number 2 between KT and Griffin. KT managed to take everything in game number 1 and win the game, surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, KT is looking great. Their performance is consistency-wise, they're just great to see. Their performance has been improved a lot compared to round 1. And yeah, I mean, they are for sure contender for the top 3 right now in LCK.
Yeah, it's really impressive stuff, and I hope that they continue to have this level of form, especially with tomorrow being their match against Dragon X. Dragon X today were able to win, but looking at KT, it really feels like they are more stable. And that match is looking more and more exciting as far as KT extending their advantages as they move up the west side of the bracket. And the telecom war is going to be so exciting if KT continue this level of play.
Again, man, legacy.
I know, right?
It's been a long time that we were hyping about the telecom war, and finally it's here again with the KT performance right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, it's for sure hype.
It's so cool.
It's for sure hype.
Because it's been a while since we've had like KT and T1 at the very top of the standings, right? Like 2018, it was all about KT smashing T1 every time. And then 2019 was the opposite. It was KT didn't stand a chance. And it felt like 2020 was going to be the same thing, right? But with KT improving their performance over and over again, it's just it's getting more and more interesting. So hopefully we get a good telecom war this time around. I just want 3 games. I don't mind who wins. I just want 3 games. I'm unbiased.
You mean telecom war?
Unbiased.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can see 5 games at the finals.
Hey, yeah, maybe. It's been a while since we've had that.
Who knows?
I think Griffin versus KT was our last 5-game final, I think. That was a while ago. I think that was 2018.
Yeah, well, anyways, aiming deserves his POG for sure.
Absolutely.
How he played this game and how he deals the damage is just perfect. There is so many good Senna players in LCK, but I'm surprised that no one was just abusing Senna even before when Senna was broken. Yeah.
And aiming right there, actually, that play was so sick. Being able to pick up the quadra kill, but also the stopwatch timing. Oh, so damn good. As we're going to have one throwaway vote for So1 here on the Korean caster desk, but I'm glad I flip-flopped because I would have been the lonely Tucson voter, and I flip-flopped in the last minute, so thankfully don't look silly this time, and even Jonah Strong agrees that aiming was the guy.
Yeah, I mean, he loves to vote for AD carry, so it was just easy prediction.
Oh, that's true.
That Jonah Strong is going to vote for AD carry here.
He likes the big numbers. He sees them big numbers, he's like, oh, it's got to be you. It's got to be you. It was a good play out of Kuro as well. I think that Kuro at the beginning of the game was really good at getting attention and not dying.
Oh yeah.
Really clean
I mean,
stuff.
he literally got the 3 times of ganking and even flash ulti by Azir. But yeah, I mean, he kind of socked them really hard, and all the pressure that KT got on the side lanes, it was really great.
Yeah, really good stuff. So KT now going to be leading 1-0. Now are going to be on the red side as well. Both of these teams pretty red in color, so pretty happy to be on the red side for both of them thematically. As the set is going to be the first ban here for Griffin. Aphelios, of course, is going to follow suit here on KT's side. And we'll see what KT's ban strategy is going to be here now that they want to avoid Griffin getting a very comfortable first pick option.
Yeah, and what I feel like is I don't think Griffin can win the game with the standard draft like last game. I really think they just need to try some random stuffs.
I'd like to see that too. I really would. As it looks like
Talia Pantheon.
Oh yeah, let's do it again. Let's run it back, the Talia Pantheon.
I mean, they should just do it, you know, because last draft was literally just LCK standard, like top side Ornn and Trundle Azir, and bot lane Misfortune Nautilus, but they couldn't even manage to contest any single objectives. So at this timing is the timing for the Griffin to just try new things, but they're just sticking on the Azir.
Well, it is going to be the first pick Azir, so it's looking towards standard once again, but KT can just go Ornn Kalista very easily because they even banned the Sylas.
Oh yeah?
It has to be Ornn Kalista, right?
Yeah, or I think they can pick Varus either.
Oh, true.
because they cannot flex Kalista and it's most likely bot lane. So they should pick Taric either for the Kalista bot lane, in my opinion.
I don't know whether they need to pick the Taric here, but I'd really like just to see Ornn locked away. But Bono is thinking that the Trundle is higher priority, and they will take that one away from Griffin.
Yeah, in LCK Trundle is really high prior right now, so everyone wants to just blind picking Trundle.
Yeah.
At this point.
I mean, Olaf is still going to be there for Tarzan
fine.
if they'd like to pick it up.
And this is also a great answer by Griffin that just picked Varus against Kalista, and it's most likely bottom Kalista because I don't see Sohwan playing Kalista on the top side. So yeah,
I like it too. Like assuming that it's going to be bot lane Kalista, as KT will most likely lock away the Taric to demonstrate exactly what their thought process is. And they'll keep both of their solo lanes for the second round of picks. And I like that. Actually, I think this is a pretty stable draft coming through from KT. Not showing their hand just yet.
Yeah. But as I mentioned it, I'm not sure if I like this strat by Griffin, because they were trying standard ban picks over and over again.
Yeah.
So can they actually win it with the standard ban picks, or do they need to try some new things to bring up some random stuffs in the game to confuse the enemy?
Well, we'll have to see what they do with their last
but
couple of picks, because it might be that Tarzan throws a wrench in the works, that Antara plays something a little bit different here. But we'll have to find out. Often you see Trundle picked into the Olaf, so a lot of respect given to Tarzan's Olaf there by banning it away anyway.
And maybe they're thinking about the banning Kindred either, because it got buffed and it was good against Trundle.
Yeah, true.
And the damage balance between Azir and Kindred is great too. So
Yep. Well, we'll see whether they do decide to take that one off the board. Still 13 seconds for KT to think about it.
Or more aggressive junglers like Elise. Oh, Kindred.
Yeah, nice. Look at that. We did just predicting everything. Beautiful stuff.
I mean, there are so many things that you can ban, but yeah.
And
just in my head, randomly, Kindred just shut off. So
it does make some sense. And especially after we were watching Pioshik play in our previous series, got Kindred on the mind just a little bit here as the Vel'Koz to be taken away from Kuro. So he's not going to be able to go to that as his answer to the Azir. I wouldn't have minded if they picked the Varus in the second round for KT, like maybe get Kalista Varus for themselves. But Kuro does find that the Zoe is open, and it means that KT's mid-game comp is terrifying.
Yeah, and if Griffin picks Aatrox here, then it's gonna be more easy for KT right now.
Yeah. Oh no.
Because they can actually stomp every single lane, it seems like. And because the reason why they can win also bot lane is, I don't think Kalista Taric loses against Varus Nautilus, especially. Because Taric wins Nautilus in fight. So
maybe it's going to be Rumble support. Maybe.
Oh, maybe?
And then you put the Nautilus mid.
Oh.
Maybe?
I think that's legit, yeah.
That could be what they're doing.
Yeah, because then they're going to have bot pressure. For sure. Because normally just range support or just AP damage support against Taric is always good. Because you can never get stunned by them.
Yeah, I like it. We'll see whether that's exactly what Griffin are going to go towards, and does mean that they're going to be shaking things up. As there's Kennen towards the top side of the map. That's going to be the answer to... Well, I guess it might be Nautilus top if they're going to do it that way. Or maybe it's Rumble jungle and then Nocturne mid. I don't know what's happening here.
Or Nocturne top.
Yeah, Nocturne top. Is Antara, has he been practicing the crazy dark technology? We'll have to find out.
Oh yeah, I mean it seems like just standard again.
Oh, I
just
don't
with
want
the
it.
Nocturne jungle.
I don't want it. I wanted to have the Nautilus in a solo lane. I think it would have been actually really cool to see the Varus and the Rumble, but not going to happen. It's Griffin. They like playing the more standard style, and we can see it's confirmed as we've ticked below 20 seconds. that it will be Antara playing the Rumble top lane, and Tarzan is going to be giving up a lot of early pressure on this Nocturne. Wants to farm until 6 before he does anything really, and so that will give KT even more room to play around Trundle being able to get that pillar very, very early and get into these lanes to try and affect things. So again, I think that KT have a really strong mid-game draft, especially around fighting around Drakes and objectives, which is exactly how they played in game number 1.
Yeah, at least they can have both a top pressure with the Rumble pick, so they might play on the top side first, but I'm not sure how they manage to play on the mid and the bot side, because as you mentioned, it is Nocturne jungle, so it's not gonna that impactful until level 6. While KT has Zoe and Trundle in the mid jungle, which is so strong from early game.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna help Kalista so much.
Well, they'll have to play it out as well. So here we are under the rift for game number 2. Griffin on the back foot, having fallen in game number 1 by basically just not playing very proactively at all. As Zoe's just going to swim her way into the mid lane. And we'll see whether Kuro's Zoe is going to be able to topple Yukal. It's been a while since we've seen Zoe make her way through, actually. She's been banned in the majority of our games so far.
Yeah, because of the early pressure mainly. And it's good against the Azir. So most of the team just try to ban it and force the Azir ban from the other side. But yeah, this time we can see both champions. And I just want to see more mid-jungle synergy by KT, because if they really want to contest the top 3 teams, then mid-jungle synergy is just necessary.
Oh yeah.
When you think about the, let's say KT wants to play against Genji to win it, then they really need to break up BDD and Cleat combination, you know?
Yeah. And Tucson actually completing his 400th game. Look at that. 5th most games played as a current player in the LCK.
Wow. So many of them.
Yeah. So congratulations to Tucson. Really cool to see that. Deft getting close to his 400th here in the LCK as well. You might wonder why he's had so little games in comparison to a lot of the other, longer standing players in the LCK, but he's spent a couple of years over in the LPL, so that's why it's a little bit lower.
Oh, it seems like they lost 1 crit.
Oh no.
Which is gonna help level 2 fights on the bot lane for the KT side. And they didn't even leash, so I think KT is gonna have all the pressure for the early game on the bot side.
Unless...
with Zoe and Trundle pressure in the mid.
Oh, really scary stuff here. You can see it's going to be Krug's second coming through from Tarzan. As Iroh taking a bit of damage there, but good trade back.
Yeah, and also Tushin has Aftershock. Normally, as Taric, you just pick up Guardian, but it seems like they have some plan for the early dive as well.
And also, it works really well because you can proc the Aftershock with Fate's Call. So you don't even have to land the Dazzle in order to do it. You can get all of those stats immediately after being thrown in by the Kalista. I actually really like that as a choice.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Really cool.
So, with the mid pressure and bot pressure, if they manage to get the bot 4-man bot dive, then this game is gonna be just ended by that point.
Yeah. Well, Antara's got pretty good stats on this Rumble. Certainly was a bit of a Rumble main when he was playing. This was back when he was on SKT, and to have that sort of scoreline when you were on sort of a team that was struggling, which is the last time he played, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
Oh god, Redemption level 4, of course.
Oh man, that's the BDD technician of the Zoe right there, but
Yep.
this time is Kuro, and he's going for bot lane. But they're full HP, so they don't even need to.
Oh god, Kuro comes in, doesn't find the bubble, but will be able to eliminate the minion wave and keep all of this mid pressure available for KT.
Yeah, I mean, it's just way too easy for KT bot lane to play aggressive because they have full vision on the bot side and full mid jungle control, and enemy jungle is Nocturne. It's just so easy and simple. And I just want to know why Griffin tries to pick level 6 composition, because if they do not make a proactive play at the level 6, then this comp means nothing.
Yeah.
So all they need to do is just wait for level 6 and just try to ult on Kalista with the Nautilus ulti and Nocturne ulti on that. So yeah, I mean this is still fine that they have no pressure on the lane, but still their competition is all about level 6, so it's still fine.
Yeah, well, we'll see whether they can get to that level 6 mark and actually pull the trigger, because I mean, you think level 6, like Nocturne and Rumble, two of the most level 6 reliant champions as far as like spikes are concerned. Level 6 is just huge. So it might be that they can pull the trigger around a Drake fight or something like that as they tick over to that level 6 mark. But the Drake is spawning in 8 seconds time, and Tarzan is still level 4. So it might be that Bono will be able to get over there and take that one for himself. But you can see that Nocturne is farming very well and is very close to hitting that level 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's been only farming this game for 5 minutes, and Bono is trying to gank top lane right here.
Yeah, I think that Antara knows that there is some attention up here, but it is giving Soan a little bit of extra pressure to try and deny this Rumble, who is farming very, very well, actually, using his harpoons mostly just to farm from range.
And there is so good vision control on the enemy jungle. As KT side, there's pink ward and some vision control. That's gonna help Kennen so much either, because normally as Rumble, you really want to get the pressure, but if KT has those kind of vision control, then Kennen also pressure Rumble in lane.
Yeah.
From earlier. This is so great.
Look at all of this vision. My god, Tarzan can't go anywhere.
Well, at least Tarzan spotted the ward.
Yeah, he spotted the one control ward, but there's wards everywhere. Oh my god, it means that you're exactly right. Soan is going to have so much control. And he knows that Tarzan's up here, so knows that he will be able to just play back. And there's a ward even near this Rift Scuttler as well. So as this Gromp is going to spawn, Tarzan moves on over, and Bono says, well, even though you got a control ward here, I don't care. I'm just going to take a Drake.
Yeah, he spotted. And look at the both side vision control as well. They have already 2 pings set up
oh my god.
on the river side. Pixel brush and both side ward. It's just so easy for them to play the game.
Yeah.
It's like you can just play aggressive like solo queue with this vision control.
But as you can see, I mean, the gold is slightly in favor of Griffin, able to get a bit more farm into Tarzan. And so it might mean that as this level 6, as it's just being gained by Tarzan, by the way, we'll see whether the paranoia is what's going to be able to get Griffin a little bit more of a lead, because I feel like, I don't know whether you had this as far as like Korean commentary was concerned or did, but Nocturne makes me feel a lot like watching TF games, you know, Twisted Fate. So whenever he uses his ultimate, if you don't get a kill from that first ult, then you're behind. And it's the same feeling for paranoia with the Nocturne.
Yeah, you're right, because it's so impactful, but at the same time it has so long cooldown, and you literally farmed for this moment, you know?
Yeah.
So if you don't get any points, then you're useless, basically.
Well, as you can see, Griffin do use the extra power that they do have by hitting that level 6 mark, by moving over to the enemy jungle. They steal away the blue buff, and that is good. I mean, a proactive play. It's not exactly a massive objective, but the more that they take and the more that they do, the better we feel, right, about this Griffin team.
And also, this game is good to have some mid pressure with mid jungle champions, because Azir, you might hate to play against Zoe, but one timing when you have ulti and flash, you can actually attack Zoe, and especially your jungler is Nocturne, which is targeting ulti with the tons of damage. So we can see Kuro is playing safe more than early game.
Yeah, I really like it. As well as that blue steal, being able to give another blue buff over to Tarzan. Nocturne loves having blue buff, because you can spam your abilities as you go around your jungle and farm even faster. KT have moved their bottom lane towards top side a little bit earlier than that of Griffin, but Griffin are going to match it basically instantly. You can see XP. Kuro is in the lead by just a little bit, as Soan and Antara are very, very close, but the Kennen, I think, will be able to tick over to that level 8 a little bit sooner than Antara. They'll pick up the minion wave under the turret and will be able to answer that entirely. So far it's very even in this early stage of the game, and we'll see whether KT can use this mid-game composition effectively as we tick over, because honestly, it feels like Griffin have survived the moment of the game where they're feeling like they'll have the most pressure on them, and that's like Nocturne's pre-6.
Yeah, and they didn't get the both form and dive, and didn't even lose a single plate, so it's great. And my question is Griffin gonna pull the trigger with the level 6 composition? Because this is the timing that they're actually strong.
Yeah.
Nocturne has Warrior already in his bank, so yeah, they have mid pressure eventually.
Well, Yukal, he did take a little bit of damage there from Kuro, but no summoner spells are on cooldown for any of these players, and it just shows how slow this game has been going. Mountain Drake will be available at 1.5 minutes time, and we'll see whether it's going to be Ocean Soul or Cloud Soul after that point in time. You could imagine that Griffin really want that to be a Cloud Soul, just so that it's not going to be as impactful as the Ocean Soul that they gave away in game number 1. But only time will tell. 1.5 minutes until that Mountain Drake will be available. And that will be a time where Griffin really do want to fight, right? Like, if they get the vision around the area, which they do have now, they've cleared out all of KT's vision and have now secured it for themselves. This game really has switched over to a Griffin-favored situation.
Yeah, I mean, they should never give up this rank and have it, because right now, they're just way too strong compared to KT. So, I mean, all they need to do is just press R button. It's not that hard, you know. So, this should be really easy objective control by Griffin. But the game doesn't end with the only objective control. As you saw at the last game, they won with the really good team fight, but they just gave up everything right after that. So I just want to see more snowbally game by Griffin after getting 2 objective.
Yeah, I agree. As Aiming and Tucson pushing out here towards the bottom side, they know that Drake control is where they want to be heading, and they are going to move up the river to try and make it as dark as possible for Griffin. Bono going to help them out here as well as he clears out this vision area. And thankfully for Griffin, they do have Scuttle Vision for a little while, but that is going to dissipate as the Mountain Drake comes up. So KT with a lot of control over there. And now we are moving towards the plates falling down, but there are a few for KT to take here on the bottom side. We're going to look to see whether they can do that. As remember last game, there were a lot of plates taken by KT. This time around, Griffin are the ones that are keeping a lot of control of these lanes. As Irove moving on over to see whether he can help as far as this Drake fight is concerned. Tarzan in the area, and vision is going to be so important as Kuro gets a good bit of poke damage down onto Irove. Now, Mountain Drake getting taken down very, very low. Tarzan is in position and secured by the Nocturne. Irove will sacrifice himself most likely, as there's the Cosmic Radiance, but not actually able to work out here as Paranoia is there to answer it. Massive damage as in goes Yukal. Emperor's Divide to end all Emperor's Divides, but the Nocturne will fall down. Tucson has to flash to get himself out. Piercing Arrow is there, and Untara is booking it towards Kuro and so on. Kuro surviving for the moment, but Irove still looking for
someone
him.
Header.
Yep, Dredgeline going to be blocked there by the cannon as Irove in trouble, but out of turret range. Soan is going to secure that kill as now Viper taking a lot of damage, but Flame Spitter should be enough to lock down the kill onto the cannon, and it's in fact Viper that grabs it, so Griffin off to a great start.
Wow, that was just more than pressing R. That was wombo combo by Griffin, and this is what we wanted to see from Griffin. I mean, it was a bit late and delayed reaction, but still, it was really great still by Tarzan right there. And that wombo combo by starting from Yukal, man.
Oh, so good. The Emperor's Divide into the wall made sure that KT couldn't get out. And the Paranoia used to block any aggression that this Cosmic Radiance could provide. Just so good. Oh my god, they had nothing that they could
do. That was just perfect of the Azir.
Yeah, so clean.
And I was calling for spawning Header to just dive simply, but yeah. They lost the kill on Ira, but still they got all the kills, so this is just so great for Griffin compared to the last game.
Yeah, it's just a really upgraded performance. You can see just how comfortable Untara is on this Rumble as well, so just great team fighting so far. And as this game goes on, I mean, we talk about late scaling junglers quite often. Nocturne certainly is one of those as well, and he now has a stopwatch as well as his Boots of Lucidity and his Warrior Enchant. He is a very happy Nocturne.
Yeah, I mean, in some case, Nocturne cannot be the late game team fighter, because if you go in, you just die instantly.
Yeah.
But this time, enemy has Kalista and Zoe, so it's gonna be really easy one-shot target for Nocturne, even though it's gonna be a late game.
Yeah. Really great stuff. 0 plates picked up this time for KT. It's the opposite than what game 1 was showing to us. And so now KT on the back foot. Can they actually find themselves some mid-game power here with this composition? They still do have tools, right? They've got the Kalista, they've got the Zoe for mid-game control. They still need to make it work. As aiming hops over the wall and will clear out that control ward pretty easily. But Griffin are just... it's transformed. This performance is not what we saw in game 1.
Yeah, and they got the early leads, and they're keeping it. So this is just great news for them, because when KT has the early leads, then it's 100% win rate, and this is gonna be a great chance for Griffin to bounce back.
Yeah. So we'll see whether they can. Of course, it's still 15 minutes into the game, still a lot of game yet to be played. And there is a triple stack Ocean Soul for both of these teams on the table. It will mean so much on both sides of the rift. So we'll see whether Tarzan can continue to lock down these smites as this game continues.
Yeah, and also the good part of this game is they do not have actual side laners, KT.
Yeah.
And Azir is more comfort to push side compared to Zoe. So I think it makes Griffin to more easy to snowball this game, but at the same time they should pull the trigger at some point while they have ahead in items in the mid lane especially, and it seems like they are doing it right now.
Yeah, pushing up this mid lane. Aiming is going to be here to try and lock that one down. Stopwatch count, there is one now in Aiming's pocket, so he's going to be a little bit safer as this game continues. As Yukal is pushing topside. Iroh might be caught out of position though, misses the dredge line. This is just, that's not what you want to see. And now KT have a whole lot of control back with 40 seconds left on this Ocean Drake.
That was awful. Just awful play. Like, everything about Griffin is just wait until every member's removed.
Well, yeah, there's the ultimate coming out from the Taric just to keep everyone alive, and Antara once again. This is just Griffin. They collapsed. For the last 1 minute, they've just collapsed.
Yeah, Griffin is gripping.
Oh no.
I don't know what to say, man. They're just straight inting after they did great job in the game.
Well, I mean, sometimes all good things have to come to an end, and unfortunately, that is what happens this time as well. And KT will take a lot from this, as they will be able to secure the Ocean Drake. Yukal will take top outer turret, but that was getting very low anyway. And Griffin still do have like a 4,000 gold lead, so decent. But after that, you have to feel like KT will be able to rally around a couple of easy picks that they were able to pick up.
I mean, I just cannot understand how he can just walk away like this without any jungle movement, and why they're trying to move in right here. Why they're having Taric and Kalista, and Kalista even have stopwatch, by the way.
Yeah.
So there was 0 point to try to attack mid lane as 2 against 4 members.
And also Aiming got both of those kills, I'm pretty sure. So that's only going to help him move towards Runaan's Hurricane and be very, very strong in the next couple of fights. And we have to remember, like, Tarzan's job is to jump onto Aiming, try and kill Aiming. And the stronger Aiming is, the harder that is for the Nocturne.
Yeah. I mean, I just cannot understand how they can play these wars after making so many good plays.
Yeah.
Especially Azir was really ahead on Zoe, but right now they have almost same item.
Yeah, and that's with a 40 CS lead. Yukal is playing very well and actually has had a pretty good series so far. Even in game number 1, he did manage to find a few decent team fights, but Griffin just weren't playing proactively enough to try and capitalize on it. This time, they certainly had been. 1-0-3 now on this Azir, but it's just feeling like the momentum has shifted and it's fallen out of Griffin's control.
It's just so hard to see how they play the game, but at least they had the early lead, so this header is helping a little bit. But yeah, their team composition is all about the level 6 combo.
Well, Fate's Call does come down here as Cosmic Radiance will keep Tucson alive for the moment, but the rest of Griffin are moving on in. There's the equalizer. So far, you've got Tucson relatively strong. Emperor's Divide only lands onto the Trundle, who soaks up a lot of damage. And now Crow bouncing around this team fight. Low health bars, but no one has fallen yet. Still a little bit of action, but nope. KT have fended off Griffin for now. It looks like KT not quite strong enough to win a team fight just yet.
Yeah, they just need some more items, especially on Zoe. But I'm not sure how can he get it, because he's not a silent champion, as I said. So these kind of team fights is gonna help Zoe a little bit. But still, it was great disengage by Viper.
Yeah, I like it.
But also, he didn't die here. Right? That's really impressive. How can Tariq survive?
Yeah. It's Tucson, man. He's in his 400th game. This is what he wants. As Kuro picks up a Zhonya's Hourglass, but doesn't have any reason to use it. And now they're looking for some vision control around this Baron area while aiming goes to work on this outer turret in the top lane. He's ahead by about 30 CS here as well. You can see 202 on the Varus, but unable to farm quite as effectively as aiming so far this game. And after getting some vision down, KT will just move back towards his top lane, complete this kill on the turret, and claim that local and global gold for the team. Griffin, the reason why they have this gold lead of about 4,000 is mostly because of those turrets that have been taken down, as well as the turret plates. As you can see, I mean, the kill score is basically even. And so KT do have a lot of money on this map that they can just take, right? Like the outer turret in mid lane is very low, and the outer on bottom lane is something that they'll eventually be able to get to. And so this game is still very close.
Positive things about Griffin is Viper is playing actually so well.
Yeah.
Also, he played really great in the game 1, even though they lost. His misfortune was on point, and this game also, his Varus is not that bad actually.
No, I agree.
Like I mean, he already got the item that he needs, and all he needs to do is just fight well in the team fight. But I really think Iroh needs to cover him, because Varus is the one champion that your teammates need to do something before he does it.
I think this is going to be a very important moment, this fight around the Drake. I think if Griffin can win it, they will be able to move this back into their control. But if KT get to Dragon Soul point, especially with it being the Ocean Soul, it is going to be a difficult ask for them to get back into this game. So Griffin now look to get some vision control around this Drake area. 13 seconds, until that Drake is back available. And Griffin, with this move, are going to get all of that control bottom side, but KT, it looks like they want to move to Baron. I don't know about that, as the Drake is going to spawn and immediately Nocturne is on it.
Yeah, I don't think they have enough damage for just bursting Nashor here. So I think they're just giving up, but still they want to get some minute advantage and lane advantage. So that's why they just keep pushing up.
Yeah, it's interesting that KT give up on trying to contest for this Drake, but I guess giving up one Ocean is not really going to be the end of the world. But still, it is confusing to me that they wouldn't actually go for any sort of fight. Just maybe identifying the items on Griffin's side and not wanting to play into their power spikes.
Yeah, definitely. Azir got the power spikes, so really great part. Griffin's damage dealers are so great. They have really great items right now, so all they need to do is just not int render. That's really easy in a team game.
Yep, shouldn't be something that they're going to fall victim to, but we've seen them make that mistake in the past, so we'll just have to work out whether or not it is going to work, as Bono might be caught out of position here. Yukal, a lot of extra damage as Bono throws down the ultimate, but the bubble is going to land here, and this tower is going to take a little bit of damage, but KT not wanting to fight now that the subjugate is on cooldown. All right, it's close. We'll see who's going to be able to make the next move, because this game is well and truly slowed down, and it feels like Griffin are going to be able to benefit from a slower game, because it feels like when we're in a Griffin game, they just try and slow for as long as possible.
I mean, this timing, I really think they can just keep snowballing the game while they have item advantage. So, and they have great comp for the bursting Nasher compared to KT. They have attack speed Varus with Azir.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's hard to just try Nasher and try to turn the fight.
Well, we'll see whether they can get control around that area. Now it's about 3 minutes until the Ocean Drake is available, and Griffin and KT both have wards on the Baron. Feels like KT have been able to get a little bit more vision control back since we last checked. There's a couple of control wards there available for Griffin bot side, but otherwise KT do still have some vision on the map, but Yukal's just so strong. My God, really is starting to feel like Griffin's game to lose, especially with the gold lead that they've been able to increase. About 5,000, now going to be the lead. As I think if you're a KT fan, you're looking towards aiming to try and carry this game out. He's getting towards his items. He does have that stopwatch available, and I think he's farming towards a Bloodthirster as his third item. As Dredgeline is going to go wide. Irove caught on the pillar for a little while, but he had Yukal right there if KT had have tried anything.
And also, I never seen Yukar farming this well in this game.
Yeah.
So probably we can see one of the rarest game in this game that the Yukar carries the game.
The Yukal carry. What is this, 2018 KT? What is happening?
Oh yeah. Against his actually ex-team.
Yeah, exactly. Some cool stuff. But still got a little bit more work to do, as that Bloodthirster that we were talking about just got completed.
I actually saw minus gold on Kalista. That means he picked up interesting rune set.
Oh yeah. Wow, okay.
He's rushing items, man.
Well, he does make it towards his Bloodthirster power spike, and that is certainly something that's good. There is, you know, a Morellonomicon on both the Rumble and the Azir. So it's going to be difficult to utilize that particular lifesteal, as he finally has Sentinel. Of course, Callistas don't level their W until level 13 now, but he's level 14, so he does have at least that ability to scout the map. Because now with the Sun Turret, feels like KT are sort of stuck in this mid lane.
Now they got the side lane pressure, so they're gonna just try to group mid, and they might force fighting. And he's poking Zoe.
Yeah, that's the scary thing, is when it's actually an Azir that's poking a Zoe. Oh, Kuro is going to miss that Paddle Star as well. Would have been a fair bit of damage. But not going to happen. It's 30 seconds until the Ocean Drake, and now it's going to be soul point for either team, whoever picks this one up. KT moving towards the Baron now. They're thinking about a trade this time.
Yeah.
That was what they were considering last time the Ocean Drake was up, but they felt like they didn't have the right position for it. Now might be their time as Kuro going to get snagged by the Duskbringer, but not able to get any damage there onto Irove as the Sun Turret does fall down. And now Aiming and Tucson just setting up on this Baron. They will have a lot of heals. Bono's going to turn up as well, and it's very dark in this area. Griffin getting some vision down. You can see Aiming still sitting on it, but it's not taking enough damage here whatsoever. And the Ocean Drake has now spawned. Griffin have full control over the bot side river. And Tara is top lane, just clearing out this mini wave, but he has teleport available, and Tarzan's just going to move over, and I think he's just going to solo this. I don't think there's going to be any response here from KT as Irove in position. KT, they need to pull the trigger. I mean, I feel like the situation's changed. It's now KT that can't make up their minds as to what to do.
Yeah, right now they are the one who have to make some plays proactively, but I'm not sure if they can do it, because they are supposed to poke them with Zoe first, because I don't really think Zoe is the team fighter who wants to fight inside of the enemy, like Azir.
Yeah, and Azir's now 3,000 gold ahead. Yukal is just huge this game. And I just don't, I can't see Kuro actually making anything happen here on this Zoe. He hasn't been landing the bubbles, he hasn't been landing the paddle stars. He feels like he's a non-factor this game, and he's had to build a second item, Zhonya's. So his damage just isn't there.
Yeah, and he didn't use early pressure enough in the early game, so he's completely just E-stun robot in this game.
Well, Aiming does have his QSS now completed. He's got a fair few items. He's farming very, very well. And is currently ahead in gold somehow on KT's side. I think the only one here with a lead, as Pillar has gone down. Great chains of corruption there from Viper defensively, as Iroh does have to flash. He's aiming, makes a fair bit of damage, but there's the knockup. Dazzle comes in as well, as Paranoia is down. There's the Cosmic Radiance, though, as they do take down the outer turret in the mid lane. KT, they've woken up, and they've found some advantage.
Oh man, it's again Iroh.
Well, the flash in from Yukal, sorry, from Kuro, doesn't find Yukal. As inner turret's going to fall, and KT just find themselves with some momentum.
Should we think this way or that way? Because I think KT played good, but at the same time, Iroh is doing some weird things.
Yeah.
And KT has the chance to hit the Nashor.
Yep, there is vision, and Griffin know exactly what's going on, but it looks to me like KT are going to commit to this time. Goes down very low, as there's the equalizer, but not really doing too much right here, as Kuro doesn't find anything in the back line, as Iroh's going to get stunned up. Yukal in position, he's looking for the ultimate, hasn't pulled the trigger just yet, as now Kuro is in trouble. Tarzan has dived on top of him. Blast Cone just going to get rid of him, but Yukal has pulled the trigger and has found a double kill now on the back line. So on, he's going to get taken down, and Griffin are just too damn strong. Triple kill for the Emperor of Shurima, and Kuro has a smite. He's looking to try and be in position to get a steal, as now this control ward is going to help him. Tarzan over to the side, but the bubble just misses, and that is a very dead Zoe. Yeah, good night, sweet princess. And that's the ace. That's going to be the Baron. And that's Griffin in full control, moving us very swiftly towards a game 3.
This is the game, actually, Yukar made the mid difference. It's actually huge mid difference this game, I feel like. Yeah. In teamfights, Yukar is doing so much. He's literally doing 1v4. Maybe Baron a little bit healthier, but actually his positioning-wise, it was really great. And all the teamfights are just Yukar 1v9.
Yeah, absolutely clean. I loved his Emperor's Divide, just swept Kalista off the map. Just goodbye.
And yeah, and Kuro tries to steal here, but Tarzan, this is Tarzan that we might know from before.
This is the king of the jungle. We're back to being the king.
Being smart and plays clean. This is the Tarzan that we know.
This is the Tarzan that we've forgotten about, honestly. We haven't seen him so much this season, but it's great to see him come back. From Taro as well. He's got a death cap now. He's just huge on this Rumble. They have just all of the tools to win this game right here. As finally a bubble's going to land there from Kuro, but it's too little too late at this point in the game. 1 minute until the Ocean Soul is going to be there for Griffin to take. And they have just switched around the momentum of this series completely with this game number 2 slaughtering, honestly. Really great play from Griffin, and this is the Griffin that we knew. Like, they always had this potential, right? They shouldn't have been at the bottom of the standings. But something hasn't been meshing, something hasn't been working with the squad, and they haven't been able to find success. But now, finally, in this game number 2 against KT, they've pulled themselves together. As Kuro misses a Battle Star on stationary minions. It's not what you want, but he's still able to clear out this wave. And KT's base hasn't been broken yet, as the equalizer does come down. Bono taking a lot of damage there, but still not able to take down this turret, and that is a big cooldown now missing. Soan's close to his Rabadon's death cap, but doesn't have it for this next fight, nor does he have his flash. He'll have to Proto Belt to try and get himself in there, as the inhibitor turret will fall down in mid.
Are they gonna just lose slowly like this, KT?
I think so.
I really think at some point they just need to jump in, because I don't see any point if they go to the late game. I don't think KT has great late game comp either.
No.
So at some point someone really needs to just TP behind them and try to do something really crazy late, because this game is gonna be really easy. Griffin game.
I mean, it really is now, because there's now an Ocean Soul on Griffin. Tarzan can basically ult the backline and just lifesteal his way to heaven, pretty much. Yeah, it's just going to be a really comfortable game from here on out.
And yeah, the imagination. Azir gets the Bloodthirster, you know?
That's basically what it is. The Ocean Soul just giving Azir a Bloodthirster. Or giving him a Hextech Gunblade, because you also get Spell Vamp from it at the same time. So, oh man. That's very, very frightening. Is 5,000 gold ahead of Kuro. That's a big lead. I mean, that's like, oh my god.
It's just complete mid difference this game, to be honest. Like, Kuro couldn't do anything with the mid pressure. I was like shouting about how KT is comfort because of the mid jungle pressure and bot lane pressure, but they didn't do any single thing with those pressure. So the game has been late game right now, and obviously Azir is the better team fighter than Zoe in the late game.
Oh yeah.
If you cannot hit any poke like Kuro.
And he now has a Banshee's Veil, so you're going to have to hit 2 bubbles in a row onto Yukal to try and stop him from just wrecking your entire team. He does so much damage, and they have so much control. The Baron is going to be up in a minute and a half, but it looks like Griffin don't even really care. They just walk in, they take 2 inhibitors, and it's great timing, actually, to take those inhibitors, because it means the super creeps are going to be knocking on the front door. As there's Chains of Corruption landing, but it's the wrong target. His aiming's going to be able to pick up Tucson and make sure that he survives this one. But now, no Fate's Call available for the next team fight, and Griffin will be able to claim all the vision control that they want.
And they're looking for the fight from the side.
Yep, the flanking Aziras. There's the paranoia. This might be the final fight. Cosmic Radiance does come down. 4 members go invincible. Is now Soan has to ult just by himself. Great equalizer. Into the back line. As the GA has been popped, Tarzan's going to keep himself alive, and his health is going to tick all the way back up. Aiming, he's going to get exhausted. Soan's over to the side. Emperor's Divide lands onto no one. As now Aiming's trying to get in there, but he can't do anything. Griffin, their health bars are full again because of this dastardly Ocean Soul. And now Tucson's the last man standing. Griffin will be winning this game.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Good night,
by Griffin. And it seems like also KT is trying to say, oh no, DRX, you are shaky. We are also shaky, so no worry.
Yep, and Viper's just celebratorily throwing his abilities into the nether. That's the Nexus going down, and you might have thought that the first game was a little bit shaky and a bit of a worry as to this very comfortable victory from Dragon X, but now KT have showed us, exactly as we did just mentioned, that KT can be shaky as well. So we're very excited about our DRX KT match tomorrow, and we'll see whether KT can bounce back for this game 3, because we're going to need a real turnaround, because they were just playing exactly the same way as Griffin were in game number 1.
Yeah, didn't do anything with the early pressure and just slowly losing the game.
Yeah. Well, Yukal, fantastic performance. I think well-deserved player of the game. I think he'll get 9 out of 9 for this one. His Azir was fantastic. And this was with Kuro having the counter pick of that Zoe.
Oh yeah, that was a bad answer, I guess. That's the reason why you don't ban Zoe against KT, probably. And as you mentioned it, no one tries to open Zoe normally, but it was open this game. Especially when you pick Azir, you actually just ban it. But this time, it was not a successful counter pick by Kuro.
No.
And yeah, I mean, they just need to not lose this hard.
Yeah, and allow, like, Aiming got to his items pretty well. Like, he was still farming out really, really nicely. But honestly, I felt like Soan was invisible this game. The Kennen basically didn't do anything, and the Zoe basically didn't do anything either. It was the bottom lane of KT against the world. And it seemed like Aiming can win in those situations, but not in this game. It was just Griffin being in too much control in their solo lanes. And Antara had a great performance on the Rumble. I think that he was also able to show his mastery and show why Antara was traded for in this game. Feels like Griffin have made an improvement by changing out their top lane.
Yeah, and unluckily they had some shaky moments because their bot lane kind of did some questionable plays, but still, they had the great focus on the team fight. So look at the Azir here. Like Yuka is literally doing 1v4 on this side.
While Tarzan was just dealing with Kuro by himself and gets the flash, sweeps the Kalista into the death chamber. Like, goodbye. One ulti. And yeah, like, you're noticing these team fights, you're normally looking at a Kennen being like, I'm waiting for the slicing maelstrom to kill everyone. But now he has to use it for self-heal to try and take a GA, and it has to flash away from the equalizer. Like, this Kennen did nothing this game.
Yeah. I mean, he got some early pressure, but it goes same. With that early pressure on the top side, they didn't get any single phase, even objective.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any TP flanks by Kennen. You expect a lot of things from AP Kennen normally, but this time around, nothing happened.
Yep, did basically nothing. You can see Yukal, gigantic damage, over double that of aiming this game. And when you see a Zoe with 13k, it means that she just hasn't been hitting the bubbles and the paddle stars that she's looking for. I feel like the damage graph should be the opposite, right? Because Zoe should be able to control a mid game, but we just didn't see the bubbles landing. We didn't see KT in a position where they could really get anything done. So we're looking to a game number 3. Let's see whether Kuro can turn around his performance, see whether KT can get back on track against a Griffin that seems to have found themselves finally. Have to find out what is going to happen though, guys, as we move into a short commercial break before getting into game number 3. Hopefully we have some Dodungas lined up for you so that we can get your fix. And then hopefully we'll see a better performance out of either of these teams. I personally want to see better out of KT so that their DRX matchup looks better tomorrow. But even if Griffin wins, then it's going to mean the bottom of the table's more exciting. We'll have to find out after the break.